Good morning, everyone. Today we have a special guest, Dr. Jasmine Corbett, the Interim Chair of Visual Performing and Communications Arts and the Assistant Professor of Communication Studies. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. So a little bit about myself. I've been here since 2015, so I'm very proud. I started off as an adjunct and then I've worked my way up since that time. So I'm in University College right now, and then I'm currently the interim chair of VPCA here, and I also teach COM435. So thank you for having me, ladies.
Thank you. So we first want to start off by asking, what is your vision for the Visual Performing and Communication Arts Department as the new interim chair?
That's a great question. So first we have to understand that we're the heartbeat of the entire university. So you have, in this department, you have dance, music, theater, you have audio, production, you have comm. And so all of that is necessary for the university to operate. If you look at communication and marketing, well, that's a comm thing. If you look at how the library is being ran, that's a comm thing. If you look at how the various departments are branding themselves on social media, that's our thing. So really, I want everyone to see how we're connected, and I want the students to see how we're connected as a team, and I want the faculty to see how we're connected as a team, and that way I think we can do all of the amazing things that we want to do.
So we know we have entered new times with the pandemic, and ever since we all had to kind of change our ways of doing things. So how has your job responsibilities evolved with the circumstances of COVID-19?
Harder. Harder. So it's hard to, we've lost 18 months if you think about it. We've been online, we've gotten used to different habits and patterns. And so I think just emerging from that, understanding that you're not going to be the same. So it's almost like when you lose a loved one, you're never the same after that. So we've lost something, but we've gained some other things as well. We learned how Zoom can work. We learned how to be more of a partnership in a team, because everybody has to do this, right? So I think I'll take that with us, and understanding that even the things that we've lost, it's okay. We can come back a bit better.
Okay, so we know you have different tasks that you do every day. So what type of skills are unique to the tasks that you and your team does on a daily basis?
I think that's a great question too. I think the fact that I'm a mom, and I don't want you young ladies to hear that and say, what an archaic answer. But I think when you are a mom, you can balance stuff out, because no 2 days are the same, no 2 hours are the same. So that's kind of the same here. No student is the same, no faculty member is the same. And so I think coming with that mindset as well. Also, I'm the daughter of an educator, so she's retired, but I grew up with a principal as a mom and an IT dad. And so just seeing my mom as a principal, learning how to balance those things every day, I think that came in me too. Yeah.
Okay. And with such a busy schedule, how do you stay organized?
Oh, I don't know if I'm organized. How do I say sane? I hope this is okay, but prayer works for me. I am that person. Before I walk into the building, that's what I do. I pray. Not just for me, but the students I'll be seeing that day, the people that I'll be interacting with, because I believe, and I teach my son as he gets out the car, you should always leave every circumstance better than what you found it. So he hears that every morning, leave the school better than what you found it. So that's what I tell myself too. And then I think outside of that, just my skill set. I'm a people person, so I love people. I may not remember names, I know faces. So if I see a face, you're in my mind. And so I try to keep that and just try to have some fun, even though it's gonna be hard on different days. We just try to laugh and have some fun.
Right, you're juggling such a prominent role on campus, and you're also a mom, and you have so much to do. So I really want to know, how do you prioritize your mental health?
Oh, wow. I love to walk. My grandmother, she's passed, but she was a walker up until the age of 65. So I got that from her too. So I love to walk. It's my time with God. So a lot of times I'm listening to sermons while I'm walking. So no trap music, no R&B. It's just me and TD Jakes on my walks. Sometimes I'm like doing all of this, and I know the neighbors are like, what is she doing? So that is first. Spending time with my son. I'm a single mom, but just making sure We spend time together. So Saturdays I don't work a lot. Kind of heard you say how you turn down the email. Saturdays is our time that we can go do whatever. Sundays is family time. I love to read. I don't read as much as I would like, but I just finished reading Don't Drop the Mic, which is a great book by T.D. Jakes. It's really good. So I finished reading that, and I'm picking up The Coldest Winter Ever sequel. So I try to do that, and I love music. Me and music, that's my thing. So I love to dance. I just love music. So those things.
I definitely can agree with that one. And we know that you have many roles here at Johnson C. Smith. We just want to know, what has been one of your greatest achievements during the time here at Johnson C. Smith?
It's been two. So I think, again, being a single mom, I like to show my son that's okay. Because I think sometimes a lot of students that I get, I'm an auntie to a lot of male students. I'm Auntie Jazz. And so unfortunately they come from single parent households. And I don't say unfortunately because of circumstances, but sometimes they carry that. And I tell them, mama is at home, okay? She got you here. So mama's patting herself on the back and living her best life, I promise you. So I've always wanted my son to see, even though he doesn't come from a 2-parent household, he still has not the affluent things, but he still has the things that matter. So he has love, he has respect, he has a good, a nice home, and things like that. So that is important, but also, so seeing how I work my way up, I think that's important. But what a lot of people don't know is I won Teacher of the Year in UC 2 times in a row, which has never been done. And that was like, yes, that was like my drop the mic moment. Because when I go into the classroom and teach, I'm exhausted because I teach. And I don't just teach what's in the book. I don't care what's in the book. I teach what they don't teach you so that it can help you matriculate not just through campus, but through life.
There are great parts about being on a campus community like Stowe. And there's great achievements, there's hardships. And so for that, we want to know one of your biggest challenges that you faced since being here.
That's a great question too. Y'all have some great questions. Being a woman in higher education, if any of you decide to do this, you'll find out that it's hard. And there's been plenty of studies about it. Being a woman on a college campus, so I think that's a great challenge because sometimes you're mansplained to, sometimes you're talked down to, it's not just this campus, I think it's just across the board. And so that's hard as a woman, because as a woman of color, if we respond, then we're the angry Black woman. Right? And then if we don't respond, then we're passive aggressive. And so you have to figure out what you choose to stand for, what you're not going to tolerate. So for me, it is anything about outside of my name, absolutely not. Anything in reference to my son, I will, no, that just won't happen. That just won't happen. And so it's not just with faculty, it's students. I mean, sometimes giving feedback, I see how students treat a woman who gives the feedback versus a man who gives the feedback. It's just all across the board. And so sometimes you take a beating mentally, and I would, as the colleagues I've spoken to who are women, I think that's one thing that we deal with.
Okay, so we know oftentimes when you're in different positions or roles, especially at a university, people oftentimes assume things about you or the tasks that you do on a daily. So we want to know, what is one thing that you feel people may misunderstand about your position here at the university?
I don't know if it's about my position or my personality. I can be introverted sometimes, but I'm just reflective. That's the Virgo in me. I reflect. So I can see a situation and I just take it all in. So I think sometimes people may think maybe she's stuck up or maybe she's a snob. That's not it at all. I'm just reflecting to figure out how I want to respond. So that's very important to me. But then I think with the roles that I've had, they're not easy. And then trying to balance that. I think one big misunderstanding was in the pandemic. I had a child at home. And so trying to balance that for 18 months, his learning was the most important to me. It might not have been to the university, but it was to me. And so sometimes with students, I'm like, I can't meet right now. I'm in math and we both crying. So it was just understanding that being a mom in today's times and balancing work, that's hard. That's hard.
Okay. And what is one of your ideas that you would like to see come alive during your time here in this department?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. So I was just talking to Dr. Ree. We're going to have a women's speaker series. I don't think men or women know enough about women, women's history. So Professor Easley actually is going to help me with that. So I'm very excited about that. We're going to have a speed networking event where the students in VPCA we're probably going to stream it, but where they get to talk to professionals in the area and outside of Charlotte, just have those interview skills, those elevator type of pitches. And then we want to do a pop-up shop to show how our department, again, is the heartbeat of everything. So those are like my 3 big ones that we're going to push for spring. And I think we're going to do a production. So I'm excited about those 4 things.
Okay, so of course we're looking forward to all of those different things that you plan to implement. And we've reached our lightning round. So our lightning round is a special question, just analyzing you here on campus, seeing what it is that you do, listening to you, and also reading the signature on your email. And I'm just interested in knowing, how do you utilize your Juris Doctor in your work here at the university?
Oh my gosh, going to law school. Everybody should go to law school or the military, at least for 6 months. Everybody. Going to law school, it just changes you. So I write differently. I write better. I can kind of get to the point a little faster, but not in a mean way, but just bam, this is what's going on. I speak well. I make relationships. And those are all things I learned in law school. So I have challenges, but then I can look at the problem and find a solution. I teach my students that in class. Don't bring me a problem. Bring me a problem and what your solutions are. I might not go with your solutions, but bring me what you think they are. So I'm a problem solver. And those things just really came from my 3 years at North Carolina Central University. No hate on JCSU, but still. So I loved it. I love that time. The friends that I still have, who are lawyers or who do other things, it's just been really great. So hopefully I've been able to merge those two pretty well.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. We learned so much about you, and we're just excited to see what it is that you bring to campus and where you go and where we go from here.
I'm excited too.
Thank you.